city of Qinzhou is located in the southern part of Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region, adjoining the regional capital Nanning. To get to Qinzhou, it's about a 2-hour drive from Nanning Airport.
我们现在已经到青州了，看见我们这个海豚了没有？
That is my first dolphin sighting. Awesome! So I'm on the way to Qinzhou and I've been told that I finally reached because that's the symbol of the city, and hopefully I'll be able to catch a sighting of some of the dolphins at Sanyang Bay and see what else this port city has to offer. Welcome to Travelogue. I'm Michelle Lean. Much like getting to know a person, in order to get to know a city, you have to first discover its roots. So I head over to the old part of town. Originally, Qinzhou was called Shongshuo. It was first called Qinzhou 1,400 years ago, and the name has stuck ever since. Oh, look at the rain. You know, Dr. Sun Yat-sen once had plans to make Qinzhou the second largest port city in China. Nowadays, well, it's not as famous as other ports such as Qingdao. It's still a place that I hear is very diverse and has plenty to offer. And my first experience of this city is the subtropical oceanic monsoon climate. While I originally planned to avoid the peak rainfall periods between June and August, it seems I've managed to catch the leftovers of the rainy season anyway. So I decide to spend some time indoors and head over to the former residence of a local national hero. Li Yongfu was a Chinese soldier and commander of the Black Flag Army, a group of bandits that were predominantly made up of ethnic Zhuang soldiers who rode with black-colored command flags, hence the name of the group. The residence called Sanbaotang was commissioned by the Vietnamese king of the time as a gift to Liu in recognition of his success in battle on behalf of Vietnam. The building is a remarkable example of Qing dynasty architecture, and walking through the courtyards and halls, you'll find national treasures spread throughout the compound, as well as some Western influence I assume he got from the French armies he defeated. This house is really something. Definitely worthy of a Chinese national hero, don't you think? Now, Yi Longfu is a local to Qinzhou, something the people here are really proud of. And he's best known for the battles that he fought against the invading French armies for Vietnam in the late 1800s. Check this out. But you know, beauty aside, because of his status and military background, he was also a really cautious man. So you'll find a lot of secret tunnels and underground passages and rooms within his house that lead to the outside. If you come here, check this out. Do you hear that? That's really hollow. It means that there's a secret room downstairs. And in the past, the entrance to this passageway used to be covered by a fake wall. Nowadays, you can just, walk inside and take a look. Can I get some light? I hear that aside from Li Yongfu, another national hero had a residence in town. He too fought against the invading French armies on behalf of Vietnam. So I take a walk over to see his place. Feng Zichai was originally a bandit, but he later became a general in the imperial army of the Qing dynasty. In 1867, he established himself in Nanning, from where he fought off opposition forces that were a threat to the Qing Empire in southern China and Vietnam. 2 years after retiring, Feng Zichai rejoined the army and was put in charge of a mainly Zhuang force, with whom he won many battles. His residence was built in 1875, and he stayed here until the eve of the Sino-French War in 1884. You know, I was always under the impression that courtyard homes within the same town and province always had a similar design or layout. But compared to the one we were seeing earlier, it's very different. The one earlier was built vertically with open spaces in between, and this one is built horizontally with the open spaces on the outside. So it's quite interesting to see the differences. The locals tell me that there's something in the Qin River that's of great importance to them. And no, it's not a local Loch Ness monster. Okay, now I'm pretty sure that most people know that China is really famous for its porcelain, but a lesser known fact is that its pottery is also really great. And there are 4 places in China that are especially known for it: Sichuan, Yunnan, Jiangsu, and here in Guangxi. This is the stuff that they produce. Isn't it beautiful? Look at that. But what exactly makes it one of the 4 best in China? Well, I need to find out. And who better to ask than the masters themselves? I meet 2 professional sculptors who make Nixing pottery using the clay from the Qin River. Armed with some information about this 1,300-year-old earthenware, I head downstairs to the factory to take a look at how the Qin River's unique red-white clay combination is crafted into decorative pieces and household ware. One of the best things about Nixing pottery is how malleable the clay is. Unlike most clay, which is difficult to work with when creating a larger piece, the potters here are able to make extremely tall vases just on a potter's wheel. Though, as I soon found out, it also depends on your skill level. See, this is a piece you won't find everywhere. It's a Michelin original, I suppose. This is modern art. Oh, ah! Okay. Look, I made a donut. Nixing pottery is made up of a combination of 40% hard clay from the river west of Qinzhou and 60% soft clay from the river areas east of Qinzhou. Once fired up in the kiln at a high temperature, the pottery changes to an azure color with a marble effect of various pigments. It's something that the potter can't predict, so it's often a pleasant surprise to see what comes out of the kiln. Nixing pottery is also known for its fine carving. The clay allows the artist to create effects on the pottery far beyond the range of many other types of clay. When it's being carved, instead of appearing like stick writing on a wet beach, crude with thick lines, Nixing clay has a more plaster-like texture, which allows for very thin and elegant lines. Aside from appearance and ease of use, Nixing pottery is a popular household item because it can withstand strong acids and keep your food or tea fresh, even in humid and hot weather. It's also fairly inexpensive, at least the more common decorative pieces and teapots are. Now, if you want something a little more special, they'll even custom make it for you. Okay, you gotta listen to this. This is tough stuff. It almost sounds like it's made out of metal. One more for the road. I head just over 50 kilometers northwest of Qinzhou for a brief escape to nature. Badao, or 8-village Ravine, is a valley area that stretches over 8 kilometers through the so-called 100,000 mountains of Gutai town. It's about an hour-and-a-half drive from Qinzhou, and when you arrive in this landscape of flora and fauna, surrounded by the lush greens of a diversified forest, you realize the drive was well worth it. You'll find easy hiking trails all the way through, so even if you're not a seasoned hiker, you'll still be able to spend some quality time in nature without too much pain. Now make sure you take deep breaths when you come. Badao is nicknamed the natural oxygen bar. So for all you folks paying a hefty dime for an oxygen bar treatment, take a trip down here instead. After all, clean air should be free. The anionic oxygen content is about 65,000 units per cubic centimeter here. And while I'm not certain how much that actually is, I made sure I got a few lungfuls of it. People say that the best time to visit the forest and scenic area of Badao is during summer, but I think this may be because not many people have visited in autumn. It's still really beautiful. Though I suppose the only disadvantage is that when you're constantly being taunted by the sight of the 40 freshwater lakes filled by the natural springs in the mountains, which you'd be able to swim in during the summer, but it's naturally far too cold now. Dr. Sun Yat-sen wanted to turn the deep waters of Qinzhou into the second largest port in South China. Today at the port, you'll find one of the largest statues in Asia of the respected leader. From the port area, I travel east to Sanyang Bay, the playground of the white Chinese dolphins. I'm told the months of October and November are when they come out to play, so keep your eyes peeled. Huh? Where? Right up